And take a quick Snapchat with the finger, put it right back down. When I was not looking, of course, because that's what predators do.
Just want to give an update from this video the other day where this woman falsely accused this man of taking a photo of her at the gym, then proceeds to call him a predator and even threatens to put him in the hospital. Luckily, a friend of his that serves with him in the Navy recognized him and reached out to me. He let me know that this man doesn't even have Instagram. He only has Facebook. So we sent him the video. He was very, very upset by this and explained that he wasn't taking a photo of her. He was actually taking a screenshot to send to his wife, who was also very, very upset, which actually makes sense because if you watch the video, you can see his middle finger and thumb actually squeeze the phone. I let him know that if he wanted to take legal action, that one of my lawyers, Shaheen Namui, would handle it for him. He said he would let me know. Also spoke to this gym, Choose Fitness. They were incredible. They immediately removed this woman from the gym, rightly so, and they gave this man a free gym membership. So hats off to them. To this young woman, I hope you have it in you to apologize to that man. If not, I hope he does press charges. You need to do better. Mind your own business.
This is America, you haven't got a haircut! Get a haircut! Yeah! Look at that haircut! Look at that haircut! Oh!
Everybody was kung fu fighting.
What's funny about the ABCD communities, they talk all of this nonsense about loving everyone, but when people have differing opinions to them, they don't show much love that they claim that they have for everyone.
A trans woman is a woman, and I do think we should platform that.
I think trans women of color should be uplifted the most just because they have the most oppression facing them.
I guess assigned female at birth person, you just generally have a lot more hardships just from like the way you were born. But I do think like trans femme people, it's kind of dangerous to be a trans femme person. It always has been. There's a lot of violence that trans femme people, trans women like specifically face.
The right to take someone else's property and make it their own is really what I'm getting after here. Do you think that should be allowed?
I think that if the property is empty, it's empty.
What if it's someone who has worked very hard to create a business and they finally are able to buy a vacation home for themselves and they only occupy it a couple months out of the year? You think someone should be able to take that over?
How often does that happen?
That's not really the question.
That's my return question, though. Like squatting, if we're going to talk about that, that's a particular type of squatting. But if we're going to talk about squatting at large...
Okay, explain squatting at large to me then.
Squatting at large is either breaking or entering, or just breaking and entering, or entering into a property that you do not own and staying there, occupying it, staying there.
It's funny how these are the same people who will talk about how Americans are colonizers, and what she's saying right there sounds exactly like colonization.
Just because someone gets rich doesn't mean someone gets poor.
Yes, it does.
Explain that to me.
In this society, it does.
Explain that to me. When you bought your hat, who got poor?
The people who made the hat.
They voluntarily contributed their labor and they got paid for it.
No, they did not.
They didn't?
There's workers in other countries who are enslaved to make things that I'm wearing right now.
Then why would you buy it?
Because there's no other options in our capitalist country. There are no other options in our capitalist country.
That's totally and factually incorrect. Make your own clothes.
There aren't very many options for that.
So what you're trying to say is you outsource your goods and services in a capital voluntary because you don't want to spend the time to go make your own clothes.
As it is with all of these woke people, they complain and want other people to do the work for them. They complain about capitalizing on other people, but they don't work to make the clothes for themselves. It's funny how they complain about everything and want other people to work on their behalf, which sounds similar to capitalism.
We're saying that we should get rid of sporting categories altogether. Do you support the idea of eliminating the Paralympics versus the Olympics?
I think that's a really great question, and I need to look into that.
That's very ablephobic.
just said a load of crap.
Well, so have you.
No, I haven't.
Yes, you have.
I understand physiology and sport.
Well, good for you.
You don't.
Good for you, but you don't understand loving a human being.
Loving someone doesn't mean accepting their delusions. The true meaning of love in this case in the West will be to tell people that they are delusional and they need to get out of their delusion and accept reality for what it is. Before we get back into the video, I need everyone to turn on their post notifications so that you get notified whenever one of my videos come out. Like the video as much as possible, subscribe to the YouTube channel, and follow me on Twitter at YinkaThatGuy. Let us get back into the video.
Please stop filming this type of content at the gym. Listen, I'm all for gym humor and comedy, but there is absolutely a line, especially when you're at a busy commercial gym like this Crunch, where a lot of young people, a lot of minors work out. They should not be exposed to this, be around it, or even worse, in the background of one of these videos. Imagine you're a mother or father. You sign your son or daughter up at this gym, they're a minor, and then you find out this is the type of content that is being created at that gym. Or, God forbid, your son or daughter is in the background of one of these videos. I would be absolutely livid. If this was my gym, I would ask you one time politely to stop doing this. But seeing as this is a theme on your page, video after video, I would ask you to leave and not come back. You need to do better. Mind your own business.
You wrote, so if someone that isn't white hates on a white person based on their skin color, what do you call that? You're not going to like my answer. I call it justifiable. White-bodied people have conquered and colonized almost this entire planet. As a history teacher, I teach my students about the scramble for Africa, in which all of these European countries came together to decide which parts of Africa they were going to colonize. And then about the age of exploration, in which Europeans sailed over to the Western Hemisphere and committed genocide against any and every indigenous population they came across. And then I teach about the transatlantic slave trade, and then slavery, and then Jim Crow, and then the war on drugs, and then mass incarceration, and then about people that deny the experience of Black, Brown, Indigenous, and other people of color to this day. So you ask me what I call a person that hates on a white person because they're white? I call them a reasonable human being who's just making decisions based on reason and experience.
What I find funny about this history teacher is I guarantee you that he didn't teach his students that Africans sold other Africans to Europeans.
I ain't even gonna lie. You look like you can pick me up. I've been staring at you. You look real strong. I ain't that strong.
What about people who are non-binary? What about people who are gender fluid?
We're all male and female. We've always, yes, of course, we're all male and female. There are
what about transgender people?
There are a tiny minority of people who have intersex conditions, and there are a tiny minority of people who have some condition where they may have a female brain and a male body. Apart from this, we are all male and female, and the attempt to suggest that there is a third gender is, as far as I'm concerned, it's an ideological and a political project. It doesn't exist. The words male and female have existed throughout history, throughout the world. They refer, men are people who have penises, women are people who have vaginas. It's as simple as that. I would absolutely refuse to refer to this woman here, who's clearly a woman, as a they, because for me that would be imposing an ideological political system. Because she is. If everybody watching this program can see that she is a woman.
I know in today's world this is controversial to say, but there are only two genders, and that's male and female. Anything else is a delusion.
Women timed the fight for equality brilliantly. Right? I mean, brilliant. 5,000 years. Men, we were fighting lions and tigers and hunting buffalo. And women were like, we'll just pick the berries. You guys got that. That's... You guys, all right. Woo, you guys are brave. Look at it. Wow, so courageous. Look at you hunting that buffalo. Second they put air conditioning in office buildings, women are like, we want equality. March for it, girls! You played the long game, ladies. Well done. Well done. Played the long game.
I would never in a million years teach my girls that they have to grow up to be reliant on a man, as you can well imagine. I would never teach my son that he should be attracted.
But Tracy, you're the same one. You're the same one who bragged that she's so strong and so tough and doesn't need a man's money. Yet you're taking alimony.
I have 3 children. Okay, Mark. You know what?
So, but you don't need a man's money.
All right, well, that's it.
Black people kill black people. They don't come out and do this crap. The only time they do this crap is when a white person touches them. They're the racists.
You are not here to fight injustice. You're here to cause drama.
I am black. I'm not oppressed. I am free.
That's good for you. That's an individual person. What about a systemic issue?
Where? I am black. I do what I want. You have the skills. This is a country where you have the skills. You want to do what you want. You do it. Stop forcing on people to accept that they're oppressed. They are not. I am not oppressed. I am black. Stop making people accept that they're oppressed. You're forcing a rhetoric into your mind, which is not true. That's my point. Violence is wrong, period. It's not about blacks. Have you seen any white person coming out and saying white life matter? No, violence is wrong.
We literally do all the time. Every time there's a Black Lives Matter protest, a white person.
It's a violence problem. You guys are wasting everybody's time.
That video is such a hilarious video because we have white people trying to tell a black person who's saying that she's not oppressed that she's oppressed. Make it make sense.
Conversation that black people aren't ready to have.
That we cause most of the problems to ourselves.
What's a conversation that black people aren't ready to have?
HBCUs are just normalizing segregation. 90% of the people are black. There's no like cultural integration in there, so it's still segregated.
What's a conversation that black people are not ready to have?
White people have every right to wear braids at this point. Because we wear wigs, we be wearing blonde wigs, regular wigs. We want to wear the nice little curly, nice little straight hair. We like, it's no different.